um, from a brother's house because we're actually bereaved, so I'm not home myself. I'll begin by praising God, and I ask Him to send His blessings to righteous men and women who have lived, to His prophets, messengers, to the suffering people of Southern Cameroon, to people who've lost over 20,000 of their family members, to people whose families are languishing in the jails of La République du Cameroon, to people whose families are languishing in refugee camps, to people whose families are on exile, unable to come bury their own bereaved. May God bless you. May God continue to guide you. What did I say? Bury bereaved? This guy has contaminated us, right? To bury their dead, their lost ones. May God bless you. We continue to thank God to enrich Muslims with the right mindset in this particular holy month of Ramadan. We pray that God grants their heart desires. Those who seek solace, may God give them. Those women who seek children, may God grant them good children. Those who seek marriage, may God give them the rightful spouses. Those who seek wealth, may God give them wealth that will help them and their family. Those in my count who seek for a total and free Southern Cameroons, may God grant our wishes. Amen. Yeah, dear Southern Cameroonians, dear people of the world, diplomats engaged with the problem between Southern Cameroons and La République du Cameroon. Last evening, comrades of mine shared a post from a supposed Mokele, I hope I'm pronouncing it well, Mekole Rita. The post has two segments, and I want to address especially the segment that carries my name and deeds that I'm supposed to have done. Naturally, I would not respond to personal insults, to attacks on my person, but when it concerns matters of the state of Southern Cameroon, it is incumbent that I clarify. So this isn't anymore about Abdul Karim. If your intention, whosoever, is to discredit him or to impress him or anyone, this isn't about me. This brings the life of 8 million people to question. This brings the existence of 8 million people to question. So this is why I'll come and address it. Under normal circumstances, personal issues on myself are not things I engage with. So let's read this message from Mekole Rita. It says, so much to the Swiss dialogue, to the Swiss lock, the Swiss process that is being pushed onto Ambazonians with speed has revealed its first fruits. The Swiss government, through Swiss Peace, recently held a meeting with church leaders in Boya, capital of Ambazonia, to persuade them to assist the Cameroon government in ensuring a return to peace and normalcy. The high point of the meeting was when the Swiss government proposed the creation of a Truth and Reconciliation Commission to bring people from Ambazonia and Cameroon to reconcile and live together. The moderator of the Presbyterian Church in Cameroon, PCC, Reverend Funky, speaking at the meeting, welcomed the Swiss proposal, saying that there is never a problem that cannot have a solution. The next segment says, Abdul Karim furious. Muslim scholar Abdul Karim, who attended the meeting in person in Boya, could not contain his anger and what was unfolding finally as the Swiss joker. Abdul Karim expressed disgust that the people of Ambazonia were being taken for a ride and considered as fools. during a briefing meeting at the end of the meeting on the 9th of April 2021, attended by NCNC's Avis Committee, Abdul Karim expressed disgust that the Swiss government had for 2 years deceived the people of Ambazonia and they were independent mediators seeking to impartially mediate talks between Ambazonia and Cameroon. Abdul Karim expressed disappointment that finally it was clear that Swiss process was a scam meant to deceive Ambazonians back into the arms of the colonizers. Will Abdul Karim conceal this revelation and let the people continue to live in false hope? Or he will man up to explain to the people what happened in Boya, admit their collective error so that the people know on what footing to proceed? This is the question begging for an urgent answer. By Macaulay Rita, I attended the meeting with Karim. End of story. So there is it, folks. Now, I have this to say. Number one, I don't know of any Macaulay Rita. That's the thing to start with. I don't know that person. And should Macaulay Rita be someone that exists, please, these are statements that are very serious for the existence of us all and for our liberation efforts. It is good that you let us have a positive ID on you so that you can defend the free speech you've made. You see, ladies and gentlemen, free speech is good. It is cheap because it is free. But we should also be ready when we make public declaration to stand to scrutiny so that we can be scrutinized in light of our utterances. So I don't know this Macaulay Rita. I don't know the meeting where church leaders were composed so that there would be peace and reconciliation. I don't know this meeting. Perhaps Macaulay Rita will tell us more about it. However, I know about Switzerland, for example. I know about Swiss peace. Many of you do know all of these appellations, that one is a country, the other is an organization of that country. And I also know that there was a meeting in Boya on the 7th and 8th. So regarding me, Comrade Rita, or Rita, I don't know if that's truly a comrade, said there was a meeting I had on the 9th. No. On the 9th, I spent my entire day traveling. I didn't have any meeting on that day. So, but that isn't a bone of contention. Perhaps that is just a mistaken date. But, ladies and gentlemen, information management is primordial at this juncture of our journey towards seeing a free people of Southern Cameroons. And I also want to say that for those who run with things like this, it would be a shame that if after 4 years, as comrades that we are, you cannot identify my diction. Diction means the use of words. You cannot identify my style of speaking, writing, or composing anything. And as well, you cannot identify my ideology. If you don't trust me with this basic, then it is going to be a difficult ride for us. My ideology has been made plain, simple, and clear to friends, enemies, comrades, to the international community. My ideologies are extremely blunt. So you should be able to realize what the enemy does. And this coincides with something I wrote yesterday about enablers. Allah says in the Quran in chapter 2 verse 42 that do not mix falsehood with lies, with truth, and do not conceal truth. This is what experts of destruction do with information. First, they try to falsify truth. What is the truth here? The truth is that till today, there is no single mediation offer for Southern Cameroons except the Swiss-led process. Mark my word, I'm not saying that is the best process. I'm saying that no other country has offered to mediate between Southern Cameroons and La République du Cameroon except Switzerland. That is the only offer that is available until it is announced by the same Switzerland who announced the opening of the subject. Until it is announced closed by them, it remains open. And please, I stand corrected. If there is any other mediation process available anywhere, show me. That is the truth. That is the only mediation process available. People try to attack that. By attacking that, attacking personalities, including mine. Bribe from Switzerland, Swiss cheese, all of those appellations. Those lies have not worked. So, Prophet Muhammad told us that what liars do when they try to attack truth and it doesn't work, they collect their lies and mix it with the truth so that those who have the information before them will not be able to identify and differentiate between falsehood and truth because everything has been wrapped up. Now this is what is happening. Like this message from the so-called Macaulay Rita, to be honest with you, contains some truth. And then it contains a lot of misappropriation, falsehood, misconception, and misleading information. All of them mixed up. So how do you select which one is the truth, which one is a misrepresentation, and stuff like that? I want to think that the writer has a good intent and purpose. What would be that good intent and purpose? Safeguarding the liberation struggle for the people of Southern Cameroons. I want to think that is the essence, you know. But this is the mistake we make, comrades, when you do things like this without cross-checking. The Quran says when information comes to you, double check before you pass it to the other. You could think that you're trying to discredit Abdul Karim or ride on me to arrive wherever you want to go. But ultimately, you would be destroying something. Listen. The only process we have is that which Switzerland has offered, whether we like it or not. That process shall not be destroyed by our hands. We shall maintain focus on that process. It shall not be destroyed by our hands. We cannot be considered as people who are talking to fight, whereas we are fighting to talk. There is a mediation offer that offers the possibility for us to sit and discuss the root causes of the problem between us and La République du Cameroon. I don't see any other one. Now, Switzerland is a country. The country has the liberty to operate the way they operate. We cannot control them simply because we have a problem. Swiss Peace is an NGO in Switzerland, which is linked to the University of Basel. They are involved in peace building, conflict resolution, and stuff like this. So the point is that, my understanding, the fact that Switzerland and Canada have offered to sponsor the mediation process between us and the Republic of Cameroon doesn't necessarily preclude them from engaging other activities with NGOs within their country. Perhaps you and I may not like it, but we cannot control a country as to how they operate and how they do not operate. So, Swiss Peace is a complete different entity. It's not HD. The Humanitarian Center for Dialogue, which is in charge of the mediation process that Switzerland is sponsoring and championing, is HD. HD had nothing to do with any trainings or any meetings in Boya. So it is like saying that Southern Cameroon today is a country on its own and has engagement with Nigeria, and then Nigeria dictates on Southern Cameroons what to do with PWG Bamenda, what to do with Santa Cocos, what to do with the rice farm in Dop. I don't think Nigeria will have that kind of leverage to command.
Disconnected. Ready for pairing.
Therefore, I say that, please, Southern Cameroonians, dear comrades, do not expect to know everything within the struggle. Some information will come to you. Some will not come to you. Most of you here, you follow the IG, you follow APLM, which is Socadev, you follow Morisk, you follow other groups, and all of them are in acts. Please, can you trust your leadership? Your leaders are all represented in acts. What I've resolved to do when there is diplomatic information that comes through me or by me, what I do is that I submit the information without prejudice to acts. Because, by the way, that is why ACT was created, so that we can collaborate in sharing information and allow a holistic deciphering of information, interpretation of information, and the right timing and the right manner of disseminating the same information from leadership. Therefore, you have to trust your leadership. Stop flying with information. Whatever meetings I have, I get myself properly debriefed within acts, in acts, for you people. Why? Because the fact that I have been in the diplomatic meeting, in the diplomatic circumstance, doesn't mean I have the necessary skills, so to say, to understand the meeting itself. So I gather the entire raw material, the entire data of the meeting, present it in a cluster that constitutes leadership of Southern Cameroons, with elders and other experts who can help interpret it and decide when to use it, how to use it, with whom to use it, for whom to use it. This is the approach I've devised. And so far, I need better arguments to prove to me that that approach isn't the best. What is there to say? Because I'll be wrapping up now. Diplomacy is silence. Trust your leadership. For those who follow me and trust me, listen to me. I entered struggle because I understood struggle. I entered struggle because your pain is my pain. Abdul Karim is not a corruptible human being. If not, I would not be here. I entered struggle because I want a free land. So trust me, when it comes to that articulation and defense for our subject, count on me anytime. If the seal of Southern Cameroons is in my hands, rest assured that nobody will take it off except when the people call so. I will speak truth, defend our cause, defend our rights before anybody. But this doesn't mean I must always carry back those glorious moments and spew it on social media and spew it to earn some likes. That is not the essence. And at the same time, I manage information best as I was taught in school. I take this information to leadership, give them my presentation, give them my opinion, present them with primary source material, and let them use it when they can, how they can, with whom they can. As far as this message that this person, Macaulay Rita, wrote, I challenge this Macaulay Rita to come forth publicly so that she can clarify some of this. But when I read the message, I don't see the bad intent. I simply see frustration towards the sluggishness of the Swiss process. And this goes to the international community. This is the problem you put us in. Really and truly, the Swiss process has dragged longer than expected. This is the dilemma you put people like myself and many others who have given their life in support of an international mediation as opposed to other ideas. But be rest assured, international mediation is all we can accept. It is an international problem. It's not a local problem. It cannot be solved domestically. Our independence is not a question of how La République du Cameroon feels and thinks or want to decide. We were a trust territory of Britain, and Resolution 1608 was an instruction to Britain and not La République du Cameroon. That is the question. It's going to be solved like that. Whether it be with the Swiss process or another process, but an international mediation is the subscription you have. That is what we subscribe to. It is going to be solved in that manner. Southern Cameroonians, please, stay away from gullibility. Pick your calm and hold it. Trust in some of us whom you've given your blessings to do the bit we can. We aren't perfect, but we are trying. The defense of our cause, whenever it comes to the point where Abdul Karim needs to do so, I would do so with every fiber in my being. And I don't do so stupidly. I'm learning from you. I read from you. I read from the best of Southern Cameroonians. I'm the student of the best of academia of Southern Cameroons. I will not mistake any figures, any dates, any number, any events, any facts, any detail in terms of representing our cause. And of course, that is some of the levels where I can take it to. We need to bring it back to the people of Southern Cameroons. Bringing it back to the people of Southern Cameroons doesn't mean bringing it to Facebook or ABC or any other TV. It means bringing it to leadership. Southern Cameroonians, if people don't free themselves, leadership free people. We have to trust leadership. There must be a leader. Someone must be at the steering. Someone must be on the wheel. Someone must be at the head of the ship. Someone must be at the head of the wagon of the train. Many people cannot be. You have to trust that and ignore some of these things. And I want to call on the international community to recognize that these things would happen. When you have a people who have been subjugated, oppressed, disenfranchised, disposed for over 60 years, and when they get the chance to want to obtain that freedom, you have all sort of mannerism coming from us. Please, do what is right. Put your fingers on the right buttons. Resolve the problem between Southern Cameroons and La République du Cameroon. For the person, Rita, who wrote this post, I still want to thank you. I thank you because without consent, you would not be doing this. But next time, you could check with me so that I can give you facts if I have them, so your article could be appropriate. Because your article is A, unreliable, B, misrepresenting, C, misappropriating, and D, misleading. But it constitutes some level of truth. Thank you very much, Southern Cameroonians, good people of the world. Please notice, Swiss peace again did not try to get our people reconciled with the government or try to get our people fall under the government. That isn't true information. But of course, they are undertaking activities on the ground. But that particular one is not a true, it's not the right painting of that picture. And at the same time, in my opinion, Switzerland is not by de facto a country that we would determine what they do and what they don't do simply because they have offered to mediate. I think most of us, this is our first time to get into resolving our own conflicts. So these terms, negotiations, mediations, conflict resolutions, they are things new to us. So I think we overrate our understanding of these things. Let's humble ourselves and learn. And also, the mere fact that Canada is co-sponsoring the Swiss-led process doesn't mean that they cannot encourage other peace processes. To me, I see some of these things as parallel things and not contradictory things. It is incumbent on you and I to defend our position when we have to, exactly correctly, and make whoever, it be Canada, Switzerland, the United States, let them recognize that we know our right, and self-determination is not the right for white people or Americans or Europeans, is the right for humanity. This is all we need to do. Defend that politely without necessarily overwritten statements, misconstruing facts, constituting farrago of misappropriation, misconception, cherry-picking information, selectively, self-selectively presenting facts in thwarted manners. It would not work like that. So please, if Rita is a known person, please come out. Don't no writing back and forth. Come out plainly. We could have a conversation on this public, explain how and where you got this information, and because it is incorrect. Dear Southern Cameroonians, when your leadership chooses to present to you the entire facts of this whole story, they will do it because they have the information. Notice, there are certain things called state secrets. Not all of us will know everything at certain times. Some of us will know some things, some would not know. All of us may know some things at some times. Trust your leadership. Most of you talking about the Swiss process, believe in the IG, believe in Sokadev, believe in Morix, believe in all these things. They have enough information regarding all of these subjects. If they have not made it public, it's because they deem it not necessary, perhaps at this point, or maybe at a later point, or maybe they think they need time to present it. That is all that it is now. Thank you so much. I have to rush now into, this is Ramadan. I have to rush into our Quranic interpretation session. I'm already late. Thank you so much. Drop your comments and opinions regarding what I've said. What I've said in error, those are my errors, not the errors of Southern Cameroonians. What I've said which is correct, may you use it. Manage information well. We are at a critical juncture now. No so much talking. When we had to go to TV and debate and educate our people, we did that. That time has passed. This is a new dispensation. We wanted attention from the white people. The attention is here. Dealing with them is not easy. One of the ways to deal with human beings is managing information, shutting your mouth when you have to, and discuss information subjects with the right people, not just with everyone. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you very much.